So get up.
Top of the morning to ya.
Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 34 minutes after the hour. Welcome to the Sunrise Show. Craig Froenig is your host. And on the phone with us this morning, Dr. Mark Christian. He's the founder of globalfaithinstitute.org and based out of Nebraska. And it's an amazing story, just an amazing story. If you haven't ever heard of it, Dr. Mark Christian was born and raised in Egypt, came up through the Muslim Brotherhood, raised as a Sunni, and then became, of course, he's an OBGYN doctor by trade, but became born-again Christian and moved to the United States and then realized in his OBGYN practice that there are a lot of Muslims that are suffering from that bondage of Islamic ideology. Correct, Mark?
Yes, 100% true. And good morning to you and all your listeners. It's an honor to be on your show. When I share this story with other Muslims locally in the United States or even abroad, they don't believe me and they think that I'm just making all of this up and I couldn't be an ex-Muslim or even working with the military in Egypt or Muslim Brotherhood and now a follower of Jesus. They cannot even believe it.
So you have to basically qualify yourself with these Muslims because I am sure that you have, you know, husbands and wives and children are sitting there, but they have to, obviously the children are going to defer to their parents, their elders, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles. And as you're talking to these Muslims, they're going to look at you and go, yeah, right, the story is fake. So then you have to basically qualify yourself with everything, your qualifications, your life experiences. Is that right?
100% true. People always ask, okay, I can't believe that. Are you serious? No, I don't believe that. You're just saying a fairy tale. And, you know, I get those messages and emails all the time. And everybody wants the proof because they can't even imagine somebody who worked for the Egyptian military, grew up in a Muslim Brotherhood family, was a Sunni Muslim, which is very unique. You know, you hear a lot about people converting and leaving Islam, but they are coming from the Shia, background. And I am Sunni. Or I was Sunni, so they cannot even imagine that, and always asking me, can you prove this? I cannot even believe it, and this is all the time. But this shows you how much bondage those Muslims are living in. They cannot even imagine or fathom that somebody can break out of it. They are living into this kind of, bubble that Islam is the perfect religion, and whatever they believe and grow up in is right, and everybody else is wrong, and there is no chance that you can jump out of the wagon of Islam and go into this craziness of Christianity. And I keep on telling them, my life has never been better. My faith is very strong. My assurance of heaven is beyond, any earthly promises. And, and I share my faith constantly with everybody and also my background.
It's interesting. Of course, you have an event coming up December 6th. That's this coming Saturday. It's called Building Bridges to Peace. Interfaith dialogue, the importance of getting it right. And interesting, Mark, as you're blending these religions, tell our listeners about that.
I see that, having an interfaith dialogue is not an option anymore. It is a must, that we have to reach out to each other. But the way it has been going on for quite some time is a disaster in every way.
Yeah.
I've seen the Pope last week going to Turkey and worshiping in a mosque and trying to reach out and trying to say Muslims are not all terrorists. Everybody is doing it wrong. We have an atrocity going on over here in our city in Nebraska by the name of Tri-Faith Initiative, where they are bringing Islam, Christianity, and Judaism all together. And all over the country, there is an initiatives everywhere talking about interfaith dialogue, all guarded and pointed together by the Muslim Brotherhood. And this is the biggest problem that we are having all over the world right now. Interfaith dialogue is a must. Muslim Brotherhood leading it is a disaster.
Okay,
going into it to compromise our own faith as Christians, or even the Jews compromising their own faith so they can appease to the Muslims, is a disaster in making. We have to do it right, and this is why we have this event, and we continue having events one after another to promote that we have to have a dialogue with each other, but not compromising our faith in favor of Islam or Muslims whatsoever. We can get together, we can love on each other, we can build our community, we can be better American citizens without saying or trying to build our relationship based on we all worship the same God. This is far from true. We all worship different gods, and their God is not my God. I'm not delusional. You know, I left Islam and I became a Christian. I did not worship the same God on both sides. I am worshiping a completely different God. So telling me that I worship the same God as Muslims is delusional. So this is why we put those events, so we can get started right.
But is it possible, though? I mean, because, Mark, I'm seeing this working together, and I see a lot of Christians, a lot of Catholics, they bend their religion to work with the Muslims, just like you said, acting Muslim-like when you go to these countries. And it's, wait a minute, who's going to lead that tri-faith initiative? And it's very interesting, because then do the Muslims, do they approve of that?
Why do I need to bend, Greg? This is the biggest question that why do we need to bend? First of all, we did not cause problems in the last century, at least, as Christians and Jews.
Right.
Muslims are causing problems. So we are getting into an interfaith dialogue. We are doing this in favor of Muslims, so they are the one who needs to bend, not us. And the second thing is, why we need to bend, why we need to start by saying, we worship the same God. Why don't we say, yes, we set aside our beliefs and let us be better citizens? This is supposed to be the cause and the reason for the interfaith dialogue, that we should not compromise our own faith. Catholics and Christians and Jews and everybody should not compromise their own faith. For sure, Muslims are not willing to compromise their faith anywhere.
Right.
If you see any interfaith dialogue going on in this country or abroad, they always say, we're going to try to make you understand what Islam really is, and we're going to have a better understanding of Islam. I do not need to know better Islam or understanding of Islam. It's not by words that you're going to show me what Islam really
exactly
teaches.
Right. Yeah.
You need to make actions and to show me that you are willing to live nicely and freely and healthfully with the community that you are part of.
Hold on to that thought. We got to come back after this break.
Wants to push his own agenda.
This is Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 47 minutes after the hour. Fascinating conversation with Dr. Mark Christian. He's the founder of the Global Faith Institute. GlobalFaithInstitute.org is the website. And coming up this Saturday, the 6th, is two impactful events. One is a luncheon event, and then one is an evening event. But the fascinating thing about this, Dr. Christian, is your speakers, your guests. You're not, I'm not going to say the word blending, but you're inviting a rabbi and then another pastor, and then also Dr. Stephen Kirby. He's a PhD in foreign affairs, and he's written 2 books, Letting Islam Be Islam, and then Islam According to Muhammad, Not Your Neighbor. But this also devout Muslim, Dr. is it Zuhdi Jasser?
Yes, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, he served in the military. He's a great American from Assyrian descent, and he is one of the unique people out there who is representing the peaceful Muslims. See, Greg, there is peaceful Muslims out there. Okay, nobody can deny that.
Right.
But the point and the biggest problem that we have is there is 2 things. There is no peaceful Islam whatsoever, and there is no platform for peaceful Muslims to speak out from. We don't hear their voice. Okay, so we are always giving the stage to radical Muslims who are dressed as peaceful Muslims, and they are far from true, which is the Muslim Brotherhood. And we do not have any ideology that can refer to the peaceful Muslims out there. There's only one Quran and one Sharia and one Islamic teachings, and there is nothing can represent the peaceful Muslims. America and Americans, an American government, supposed to help those peaceful Muslims to find their way, but they are not. And this is what we are trying to do as Global Faith Institute, to give a stage for the peaceful Muslims so they can speak out and they can voice their opinion and build their ideology that can confront the other Islamic teachings. That such thing is not in existence whatsoever right now. We are trying to start that.
Yeah, so where's the switch? Where's that precipice, that fine line, that fence that keeps the peaceful Muslims happy and free and doing what they're doing versus the extremists that are causing so much pain and hurt and death around the world?
This is a huge, big elephant to move, Greg. You know, many of those peaceful Muslims out there has nothing to do with Islam. They don't want to have any association with Islam other than they call themselves Muslims. They do not understand their religion. They do not want to step one foot in any mosque in their country. They don't want anything to do with any Muslim imam in this country. And they have no ideology or any textbook that they can refer to be their own textbook. They have nothing. So they are sitting over there in the dark, not helping anybody, but helping the cause of the Islamic supremacists over here in this country. And nobody's helping them. Nobody's asking them to speak, and they are afraid to speak. So to jump into the fence and trying to help them out, they need to understand their own religion first so they can make their own changes. We cannot make the changes for them. We cannot do anything for them. We just can give them the power and help that they need to do their own work.
Exactly right. I mean, because that's what I'm thinking next is you've got Muslims that are peaceful trying to do what they do, but then you've got the Islam. That's where the problem is, correct? The ideology.
How can the peaceful Muslim be helpful in this country if he is not understanding his own religion? If he is not speaking out? If he is not going to the mosques and taking control of any mosque in this country? So how they can be very helpful? They are doing nothing. And when you are doing nothing, you're actually doing something,
right,
which is completely giving the stage for the radicals to take control and decide their fate, right or not?
Well, there's a wonderful quote, and it's the only way for evil to, triumph is for good men to do nothing.
That's exactly what the peaceful Muslims are doing nothing. They do not go to mosque. They have no textbook that they write about their ideology. They have no voice whatsoever, and they're avoiding the subject matter. Plus, they don't even understand their own religion.
Wow, it's amazing. Well, this event is going to be in Omaha, Nebraska. Of course, we won't be able to attend, but you're going to have it recorded, maybe have it put online at some point?
Yes, it's going to be on YouTube, and also we're going to make DVDs available for sale on our website, because we are setting the stage for many events to come up after that to lead the way into having a better relationship between peaceful Muslims, Christians, and Jews, so we can move forward in this country and take control of it again and kick all those Muslim Brotherhood front groups out of this country.
Well, it's going to be amazing. We'll see if, as it gets picked up, because you're going to have Pastor Paul Blair there sharing the stage with you, along with Dr. Stephen Kirby. He's a PhD in Foreign Affairs. And then Rabbi Daniel Sherbill, he's the U.S. Assistant Director at the Center for Jewish Christian Understanding and Cooperation. So along with Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, and he's an MD and a devout Muslim, but he's also the founder and president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. So we'll see as this, it'll be awesome. So I just congratulations to you, Mark, for putting that together, and this interfaith dialogue coming up this Saturday.
Thank you very much, Greg.
Yeah, it's great to have you on, Mark. Keep on keeping on, and it's great to have you, because I tell you, trying to understand this in a 20-second or a 30-second clip that the national media utilizes with this is impossible. People just stand there. I mean, just like me, they just stand there and look, and the Sunni and the Shia and, all of that, how to understand it in 30 seconds or a minute, it's impossible.
And this is how God, provided me with the situation that I'm in right now. I think God prepared me for something way bigger than me. I grew up into it. My understanding and the depth of my understanding of Islam, I was teaching Islam growing up.
Wow.
I was an imam. I understand Islam, Shia and Sunni very well. I am prepared for such time, and I'm working hard to educate people and to make a difference.
This is
my mission. I hope things will change from the way it is. Islam, in its current teachings, is eating the West and eating America alive. We have to do something. You can see they jump on every opportunity to destroy this country. You know, you see it in Ferguson. In Ferguson, they are jumping into this kind of fight and fueling the problem going on in Ferguson in every way. Why? Just because they hate this country.
Yeah, that's the problem. This is why good people have to stand up, because it's time. It's time to call folks off the sidelines and get into the game. So, Mark, we're out of time, but thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing about your event coming up on Saturday.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Take care. We'll be back after this. The Bloomberg Market Update is next.